Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Good to have you here, as always. So tonight, in this episode, I am going to be talking about one of the largest and longest running white power organizations in the world, Blood and Honor. Blood and Honor is a neo-Nazi music promotion network and white power organization that originated in the United Kingdom in 1987. It has since become one of the largest and longest lasting white supremacist movements internationally. Now, the network is primarily known for promoting neo-Nazi and white power rock music, organising concerts, distributing literature and merchandise, and spreading white nationalist ideology. And closely related to Blood and Honor is Combat 18, a violent paramilitary offshoot responsible for multiple terrorist acts, including murder and bombings. So this video provides a comprehensive overview of the history, ideology, symbols, international expansion, and criminal activities on both Blood and Honor and Combat 18. So Blood and Honor was founded by Ian Stuart Donaldson, the lead singer of the band Skrewdriver, in 1987 in the UK. Now, Skrewdriver initially formed in the late 70s as a punk and oi band, but reformed in 1982 with openly white supremacist and neo-Nazi views under Donaldson's leadership. The name Blood and Honor originates from the motto of the Hitler Youth during Nazi Germany. The original German phrase Blut und Ehre translates to blood and honor in English. This phrase symbolized loyalty to racial purity, the blood referring to the supposed racial heritage, and loyalty or honor towards the movement's ideology. It was also the name of one of Skrewdriver's songs and one of their albums. So Blood and Honor began as a fanzine and mail-order distribution network for white power music and soon expanded into organising concerts and events. Now, the organisation aimed to provide an infrastructure for neo-Nazi music fans to connect and spread their views through cultural means. The first issue of the Blood and Honor magazine was published in 1987, and it promoted a launch concert in London featuring Skrewdriver, No Remorse, and Brutal Attack.
We are here, if you doubt it, we're stronger than before.
Attendance was around 300 to 400 people at the initial events, usually held in warehouses or other secret venues to avoid police interference. By the late 1980s, Blood and Honor had grown significantly, with the magazine expanding in size, distribution, and content. They began selling patches, flags, vinyl records, and other merchandise related to white power and neo-Nazi culture. The music style promoted includes neo-Nazi rock, white power, oi, punk, and other subgenres that use aggressive lyrics and themes supporting white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and anti-immigration. Blood and Honor's concerts became important recruitment grounds for young people attracted to the music and ideology. Attendance at Blood and Honor concerts grew to between 500 and 1,000 in various locations, often held in secret to, once again, evade law enforcement. From the UK, Blood and Honor expanded internationally from the late 80s onwards. In Germany, the German Blood and Honor chapter was founded by Marcel Schilf, a skinhead from Hamburg. This chapter translated the original UK Blood and Honor magazine into German and distributed it widely among neo-Nazi skinhead groups. Annual concerts were held in Germany, regularly attracting over 300 attendees, and German authorities monitored these groups very closely due to their extremist and often violent activities. In Scandinavia, Blood and Honor cells appeared in Finland, Sweden, and Norway. In Finland, the group often met in rural or remote locations to avoid police detection. The Scandinavian chapters incorporated Norse and Viking symbolism, including the Thala rune and other runes, linking racial identity to pagan and ancestral mythology. In the United States, Blood and Honor spread primarily through two rival chapters, the Blood and Honor America Division and Blood and Honor Council USA. The American Division was re-established around 2005 by the skinhead group Volksfront, and it includes skinhead, neo-Nazi, and Christian identity adherents. The Council USA emerged from affiliations with the Vinlanders Social Club and is now represented by individuals running a racist music label in Ohio and a racist video company in Texas. Now, in Greece, Blood and Honor Hellas was established in 1999, closely tied to the political party Golden Dawn, which rose to prominence with a fascist anti-immigration platform. Blood and Honor Hellas provided the music scene, propaganda distribution, and event space supporting Golden Dawn's street activism and political efforts. In Canada, Blood and Honor activity increased in Ontario and Toronto throughout the 1990s. Combat 18 cells in Canada have been involved in criminal vandalism, including mosque defacements and hate speech posters. Canada officially designated Blood and Honor and Combat 18 as terrorist entities in 2019, enabling legal action against members and supporters. Now, in Australia and New Zealand, Blood and Honor chapters were formed in Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria. The Southern Cross Hammerskins formed in 1993 and they became the Australian offshoot of the American Hammerskin Nation. They were closely tied to Blood and Honor. For several years, ISD memorial concerts were held in Australia to commemorate Ian Stuart Donaldson. These events were significant at maintaining Blood and Honor's presence in the region, and public opposition and legal challenges have limited their activities, but the group does remain active. So my first introduction to the movement in Australia was in 2006 at a Blood and Honor meet and greet in Brisbane. I had made contact with them through Stormfront. I was actually looking for German World War II militaria, and I had no real knowledge of Blood and Honor at that time. But at the meet and greet, I was met by a guy who was a member of the Queensland Division. He was also a member of the IKA, Church Creativity, and many other groups, which I later learned was pretty normal. I also met the Queensland Blood and Honor Division representative, a guy named Ruben, a tall, gangly, awkward-looking dude. I wasn't too impressed when I met him. But after weeks of meetings and social events, I was finally told about B&H and what it was about, that it was a network for spreading pro-white ideology through music. They promoted bands, put on gigs, and networks. Now, they said there was no official membership, no leadership. That kind of made no sense to me. It sounded very disorganized. Earlier on, I had actually bought myself a Blood and Honor t-shirt just because I liked the design and I didn't really know anything about it. But when Ruben saw it, he started questioning me about it, where I got it, as if I had committed an offense. He got really shirty about it. Now, I knew in motorcycle clubs you couldn't buy members gear, and I thought, okay, maybe that's the same, right? But when I was told about this structure, I just laughed at him. I was like, oh, fuck off, dude. Just because I didn't buy it from you, that's your issue, man. But they actually had their own shirts, Blood and Honor, but it had Queensland Division printed underneath. And apparently you had to earn those. I inquired how to earn one, and Ruben told me that you had to attend gigs, help out, and promote Blood and Honor by buying music, magazines, gear, all that kind of stuff. So I did. And I became a part of Blood and Honor for a short time at least. But it wasn't what I was after. I didn't want to be a part of something that just anyone could join. I was wanting a brotherhood, and that's what I've always been looking for. But after attending a few gigs and meeting others in the network, I began gravitating towards the Hammerskins. I later did become a Hammerskin, and I didn't have a lot to do with B&H other than the gigs, ISD. And the ISD Memorial was our one big event of the year, but it was also the Hammerskin AGM, because it was the only time everyone really got together. So the gigs, they were a great time, and I've even done a few videos about them if you want to check them out. But the one thing I noticed with B&H, especially in Australia, was that everyone claimed membership. There were so many different factions all claiming it. Anytime people were thrown out of the scene, and it happened often, they'd go and start their own division. Some of these guys even tried to form Combat 18 there as an opposition to Blood and Honor. Like anytime someone got rejected, they'd call themselves C18 in response. The two that I know of who did eventually move to Perth, they shot at a mosque roof at 4 a.m. with air rifles, and they got arrested for it. I was also told by Ruben that Australian division of Blood and Honor was actually the first formed outside of the United Kingdom. I don't know if that's actually true or not. And then there's Combat 18. So initially Combat 18 was formed in early 92 as a paramilitary wing of stewards to protect BNP and Blood and Honor events. Over time, internal power struggles emerged. After Ian Stuart Donaldson's death in '93, Combat 18 gradually seized control of Blood and Honour in the UK. Now, conflicts grew intense. Many white power bands accused Combat 18 of profiteering from the music scene and taking the movement in a more violent, militant direction, undermining the cultural-based promotion of ideology that Donaldson had envisioned. This schism led to the formation of two rival US divisions, each aligned differently with the conflicting visions. Blood and Honour America Division aligned with Volksfront and Christian identity adherents, explicitly rejecting Combat 18 influence and claiming loyalty to the music and cultural strategy. Then Blood and Honour Council USA, more militant in nature, aligned with non-Hamaskin regional skinheads and clan elements, representing the opposing aggressive stance in the split. Blood and Honour and Combat 18 use a set of symbolic codes and slogans to communicate ideology and foster group identity. You have the 14 words. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children, coined by David Lane. 88, which represents Heil Hitler, as H is the 8th letter in the alphabet. 18, as in Combat 18, the numbers correspond to the letters AH, Adolf Hitler, of course. And then 28, linked to Blood and Honour, BH, 28. But then they use a lot of runic symbols, runes like Othala and Algea. They're widely used and misappropriated to signify racial purity and nationalist pagan beliefs. Other symbols include the Celtic cross, the wolf's angle, and the Totenkopf skull. Now, Blood and Honour promotes racial nationalism, anti-Semitism, anti-immigration views, and the preservation of a white European identity. Christian identity theology, especially in the US, Blood and Honour factions frames Jews as the offspring of Satan and promotes an apocalyptic worldview in which white Christians will prevail. The ideology promotes leaderless resistance, decentralized action by individuals and small cells acting independently without central command, to invade law enforcement by encouraging lone actors and loosely connected groups to conduct violence or propaganda campaigns autonomously. Music is the primary recruitment and propaganda tool for Blood and Honour. Bands such as Skrewdriver, No Remorse, Brutal Attack, and others are promoted through the Blood and Honour network. Music festivals and concerts serve as social hubs where attendees can purchase literature, flags, and other merchandise. These concerts, which are often secret and held in warehouses or rural locations, serve as recruitment events, spreading ideology and creating a sense of community. And it's noted that Combat 18 actually produced a magazine called Red Watch that published personal details of anti-fascist activities, ethnic minorities, and others considered enemies, encouraging vigilante violence. And Combat 18 has been directly linked to numerous violent and terrorist acts, internal feuds resulting in stabbings and murders among members. Now, British law enforcement's Operation Sledgehammer in 1999 to 2000 led to arrests of many Combat 18 members and uncovered plans for bombings, petrol bomb factories, and assassinations. And in 2001, 2 members were convicted for an attempted murder involving a nail bomb attack on a mosque in the UK. Now, the group has been connected to racially motivated murders, assaults, and hate crimes throughout Europe and North America. Germany actually banned Combat 18 in 2020 after links were found between the group and the murder of pro-migrant politician Walter Lübcke. Similar cells operate underground in Canada, France, Spain, and Italy. Now, in September 1992, Blood and Honour organised a Skrewdriver concert in London. Followers were told to gather at Waterloo Station to be redirected to a secret venue. Antifa mobilised and occupied the station first, ambushing arriving Blood and Honour supporters. Violent clashes ensued, missiles, stabbing, smashing cars, and 36 arrests resulted. Fewer than 300 neo-Nazis reached the gig, which ultimately took place in a function hall in Eltham. The confrontation became known as the Battle of Waterloo, drawing international attention. As law enforcement cracked down on physical gatherings and publications, Blood and Honour and Combat 18 transitioned to online platforms like forums. They also use websites such as Stormfront, hosted forums, music downloads, and extremist content. Nowadays, encrypted messaging apps like Telegram now facilitate communication, recruitment, and propaganda distribution. COVID-19 lockdowns contributed to increased online radicalization. Decentralized cells and lone actors continue to operate, encouraged by leaderless resistance ideology. Several countries have listed Blood and Honor and Combat 18 as terrorist organizations or entities, criminalizing support or membership. Canada listed both groups as terrorist entities in 2019. Germany banned Combat 18 and Blood and Honor literature. Australia monitors these groups closely, with various police operations targeting members. But despite legal efforts, decentralized structures and online platforms make complete eradication difficult. It is to be noted that the last ISD memorial gig in Australia was in 2019, which actually came under huge public scrutiny and pressure to have them shut down, including a 60,000 signature petition, which was presented to Parliament. So yes, Blood and Honor, they are still around, they are still operating, but when you have everyone claiming to be Blood and Honor and no official membership, it's really, really fractured. So there you have it. That's my insights and a little bit of information and history about Blood and Honor Network. If you like this video and you want to see more, as always, just subscribe down below and hit the little bell to get notified. And if you can like on this video, it'd be much appreciated. And if you want to support this channel, many different ways you can do that. Buying me a coffee, great way to do it. Donations, another great way to do it. All the links are in the description below. It's all much appreciated. Keeps me going. And I will see you next week for another awesome video. Stay safe, peace out, and love and light to you.